So, you thought AI was moving fast? Buckle up. The pace of innovation is only accelerating, and what seemed cutting edge yesterday is already old news today. Just when we were getting used to chatbots that could write a decent email, the ground has shifted again. The landscape is changing so quickly that even experts are scrambling to keep up. The big buzzword used to be context window, how much info you could cram into an AI at once. Everyone was obsessed with making these digital brains remember more and more. But now, a new idea has crashed the party: recursive reasoning. It's not just about memory anymore. It's about how the AI thinks and solves problems. Instead of just making memory bigger, we're making it smarter. Recursive reasoning lets AI break down complex tasks into smaller steps and then solve them one by one. For years, the strategy was brute force. More data, bigger models. The thinking was, if you throw enough resources at the problem, you'll get better results. But we hit a wall. The returns started to diminish, and simply scaling up wasn't enough anymore. Recursive models pivot from sheer size to intelligent structure. They're designed to think more like humans, using logic and reasoning instead of just memorizing data. It's the difference between memorizing a library and knowing how to find, read, and understand any book you need. It's about learning how to learn, not just storing facts. Imagine an AI that explores information, not just stores it. It can ask questions, seek out answers, and adapt its approach as it learns. This shift is profound. It's about handling information with intelligence and precision. The possibilities for research, business, and creativity are expanding rapidly. We're moving from a forgetful sponge to a focused researcher. AI is becoming a true collaborator, not just a tool. The era of making things smarter, more efficient, and more like a true thinking partner has just begun. And if you think things are moving fast now, just wait. The real breakthroughs are still ahead. Let's get on the same page. Context is the AI's short-term memory. The context window is how much info you can give it at once. For a while, bigger seemed better. But here's the dirty secret: context rot. The more you feed an AI, the more its performance decays. It starts sharp, but by the end of a long document, it forgets details and gets fuzzy. This is a huge problem for real-world tasks that need deep, sustained analysis. If the AI forgets the start of a financial report by the end, it's useless. The brute force method of just adding memory hit its limit. We needed AI to manage, prioritize, and navigate information, not just hold more of it. The need for a smarter, more structured approach was obvious. The obvious next step? Make the context window even bigger. Tech labs race to announce ever larger windows. Great headlines, but not great results. It's like solving a traffic jam by building a wider road. Eventually, you just get a bigger jam. Even with massive context windows, models struggled with the lost-in-the-middle problem. They'd focus on the start and end, but blur the middle. The AI was skimming, not reading. Plus, huge context windows are expensive, computationally and environmentally. We were building monster trucks when we needed surgical tools. The industry realized bigger isn't better. The real challenge is reasoning, not memory. The goal isn't to read an encyclopedia at once, but to use its index, find the right page, and connect the dots. The focus had to shift from memory to method. Enter the recursive language model, or RLM. Instead of one massive brain, it breaks problems into smaller, manageable chunks, just like humans do. You don't read 50 books at once. You ask a question, read a chapter, take notes, and decide what to read next. RLMs work the same way. Read a section, summarize, store notes, and decide the next step. This loop repeats, building understanding step by step. The model becomes an active agent, not just a passive reader. It formulates strategies, executes subtasks, and refines its understanding. The core model only handles a small, optimized context at a time, avoiding context rot. AI is finally learning to work smart, not just hard. Let's use an analogy to understand this better. Imagine the old way. You try to memorize one long shelf in a library, cramming every book and detail into your head. By the time you reach the end, you've forgotten the start, and outside that single shelf, you're lost and can't help anyone. The recursive approach is different. Instead of memorizing, you become the master librarian. The librarian doesn't need to memorize every book. They know how to find any fact, using the card catalog and a trusty notepad to keep track of what matters. Ask a complex question, and the librarian finds the right books, jots down notes, and pieces together an answer step by step, never overwhelmed. The recursive AI is just like that librarian, methodical, resourceful, and always ready to tackle new questions. In this analogy, the library is the dataset, the card catalog is its navigation system, and the notepad is its workspace for building answers. This method is flexible and powerful, adapting to any question or challenge that comes up. The librarian can answer anything, not limited by memory, but empowered by a process that scales with the size of the library. Structure beats size. True intelligence comes from how you seek, organize, and synthesize information, not just how much you can store. Now, AI is only limited by the size of the library it can access, and the skill of its inner librarian. Let's get a bit technical. Recursive systems aren't just one AI, they're a team. At the center is a worker model, a focused specialist with a small, clean context window. It's guided by an orchestrator, the project manager. The orchestrator holds the main goal and breaks it into tasks. The worker tackles each task, reports back, and its findings are saved to an external workspace, the AI's notepad. The orchestrator reads the notepad, plans the next step, and the loop continues. The system builds a map of the territory as it explores. This division of labor keeps the worker sharp and the orchestrator strategic. The workspace acts as reliable long-term memory. This architecture solves context rot. Info isn't lost, it's written down and organized. The AI's knowledge base grows with every step. It's a smarter, more sustainable way to reason over massive data. So what does this mean in practice? What can we actually achieve with these new AI capabilities, and how might they change the way we work, create, and solve problems? Take software development. Recursive models can map huge codebases, analyze functions, track changes, and refactor code with real understanding. They can even suggest improvements, catch subtle bugs, and help teams collaborate more efficiently by keeping everyone on the same page. In research, these models can read thousands of papers, summarize findings, compare evidence, and build a comprehensive map of a field. They can spot trends, highlight gaps in knowledge, and even propose new research directions that might otherwise be missed. For legal or scientific reviews, they synthesize vast information into coherent insights, making it easier to draw conclusions from mountains of data and documents. Autonomous agents can book complex trips step by step, find flights, then hotels, then reviews, using each result to inform the next move. They can optimize for cost, convenience, and even personal preferences, handling all the details seamlessly. Each step is focused, robust, and less error-prone, with the AI able to double-check its own work and adapt if something changes along the way. Recursive models turn AI from a simple tool into a true partner for complex, long-running projects. They can manage workflows, remember context, and help teams stay organized over weeks or even months. Whether it's auditing finances, debugging software, or synthesizing research, AI can now maintain coherence and strategic focus over nearly unlimited information, making sense of complexity that would overwhelm any individual. It's the difference between a calculator and a data scientist. AI is no longer just crunching numbers, but actually understanding and reasoning about the bigger picture. The scale of problems AI can tackle has just exploded, opening up new frontiers in science, business, and everyday life. We're entering an era where AI can help solve challenges we never thought possible. The possibilities are massive, and the impact will be felt across every industry and discipline. And this is just the beginning. The journey ahead is full of potential, and we're only starting to imagine what's possible. Of course, this recursive future isn't without challenges. Orchestration is tricky. Managing the loop between orchestrator, worker, and workspace is complex. The orchestrator must avoid repetitive loops and dead ends. Without safeguards, the system could get stuck, wasting computation. We need mechanisms for the AI to recognize when it's not making progress and try new approaches. Evaluation is tough. Old metrics don't measure long-term reasoning or strategic planning. We need new benchmarks for multi-stage, exploratory tasks. The black box problem grows. Tracing errors in a long reasoning chain is hard. Building transparency and interpretability tools is critical. But these are solvable problems, and the payoff is huge. Despite the hurdles, recursive models mark a turning point for AI. We're moving from brute force size to smart structure and process. AI is evolving from a static encyclopedia to a dynamic explorer with a map and a notepad. This approach is more sustainable, efficient, and accessible. Smaller, focused models in intelligent loops mean more capability with less cost. The future of AI is about long-term partnership, not just quick answers. You'll work with AI over days or weeks as it researches, drafts, and adapts. True intelligence is knowing how to find and use knowledge, not just storing it. We're building AI that can reason, strategize, and solve real-world complexity. The age of the AI memorizer is over. The age of the AI explorer has begun.
Love exploring the world of technology and AI? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to NeoTech-Lens for more insightful and exciting content. Hit the bell icon to stay updated with our latest tech and AI innovations. Your support fuels our journey into the future of technology.